Hi everyone, it's Ash and I'm going to use the Garnet Palette by BH Cosmetics to create this look. So keep watching if you want to hear my views on the palette and how I created this look. I use the Garnet shade for my blush and I pressed it in with a beauty blender because it's very pigmented. Of course, it's an eyeshadow, so that would be why. I used Productive AF for a highlighter. I thought it was really beautiful and it looked good. It wasn't too shimmery in my opinion or glittery. And I just highlighted the crap out of my face. I used my Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow primer. So I went in with the shade Works It and I placed it on my outer crease and I brought it in towards my inner crease. I left the inner part of my eye blank because I'm going to be doing a halo eye and there was no reason to bring that product into the center. I did experience a little bit of fallout with these shadows, so just be wary. It wasn't anything drastic. It was easy to fix, but it did happen. So yeah. This palette is so pigmented. I'm just super impressed with how pigmented it is. I mean, this palette is only $9, you guys. I went into the shade Loyal and I placed it on top of the other shadow and on the very outer edge. I didn't want to blow it out too much. I felt like this shadow was a little bit more challenging to use, but it wasn't a big issue, and yeah. I am going to go into the shade Sensitive and I am going to place it on top of the Loyal shade and above it as well. After that, I go back in with the brush that has Loyal on it and I just blend out the shade a little bit more. I also have the Amethyst palette and can't wait to use it. And I think if everything goes well, I plan on purchasing one every month because this series on the 1st, they will release the Birthstone palette every month. So that'll be exciting and something maybe to look forward to. My earrings are from Love Kills Boutique. I go back in with the brush that has the Work It shade on it and I just add a little bit more to it to deepen it up and add a little bit of what was brushed away. Layering your eyeshadows is key in my opinion. I went in with a brush that had nothing on it and I just used it to blend everything out. I used a concealer and yeah, I am going to now carve out my eyelid. The two palettes that I have from this series do have pressed glitters in it, and I know a lot of people don't like them. I don't mind them. Though with the smaller palettes, I think it would be nicer to have a shadow instead of a pressed glitter. I would say that's my only complaint about this palette. And the Amethyst, even though I haven't used the Amethyst palette yet, I'm assuming the quality is going to be as nice as this one. I used Go Getter and pressed it on the ends of the area I concealed. I just love how much of a true red this shade is and the pigment on it. It's beautiful. I do make it in the shape of a tornado. I leave a tornado shape in the center of my eye for the halo. I just like the way that looks and feel like it brings a lot of attention and a really pretty, I don't know, look. So yeah, that's what I did. I then took the brush that has Work It's on it and I placed it on the corners and edges of my look and kind of blended it in with the red. I then took the Garnet shade and I sprayed it with some setting spray, and I placed it on the blank area in the center of my eye in the tornado shape. You know, it's fatter at the top and then it gets thinner as it goes down. I think this shade is beautiful, and I love the fact that I was able to use it as a blush and use it for my eye as well. I then went back in with Go Getter and I added it to the edges just to make a difference, or a slight difference, in between the shimmer and the matte shade. Again, I'll just add, you know, it's so important in my opinion and for me to go back and forth between all the shades and my placements to get a blend and just to layer and to add more pigment back into everything. So I took Productive AF and I sprayed it with some setting spray and I set it on the very middle of my eye. I placed less of it than the other two red shades that I had used and placed it in a tornado shape. I took Go Getter and I placed it on my bottom lash area, and then I took Sensitive and blended it out. Then I took Works It and I placed it on my lower lash line on top of the red shade and blended it out. Off camera, I removed all of the fallout and I also used my beauty blender and shaped the edges of my eye look a little bit more. I used Productive AF for inner corner highlight, and 1 minute please. I put on some black lipstick. I used a red lippy for my waterline and threw on some lashes. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this look and information about the palette. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.